ברשות מוריי ורבותיי ובמשנו השם, ברשות הרב לרדו, הרב הגאון, רב יהודה בן חמו, והרב הגאון, רב דהן שליטה, קהל קדוש. Every year on Pesach we talk about והגדת לבנך ביום ההוא לאמור. The main Pesach is to talk to the children all what Hashem did to Am Israel in Egypt. Today we start the Parsha of the exile of the Jews in Egypt, and of course during the 3 weeks that we will study how much the Jews in Eretz Israel they suffered and how much the Jews in Egypt they suffered. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he said to Moshe, tell the Bnei Israel that the only way that they will not forget what they saw in Egypt is by telling their children, V'igata libincha, that way the Haggadah that we study, we learn on Pesach, its name is Haggadah. Haggadah from the word telling, talking to the children. And I would like just to tell you something that I will never forget in my life. When I was a baby, I remember it was on Pesach, on Pesach, when we say the Haggadah, when we say Shefoch Hamatcha Lagoyim, it's a special prayer that we say to Hashem, please Hashem, how much you have to protect us from those who want our destruction. It's a custom that we stand up and we go to the door, we open the door, and we say, Baruch haba Eliyahu. It's before we start to mention Shifoch Hamatcha, we open the door. It's a custom. We have emunah. That Be'ezat Hashem will send us Eliyahu to deliver us. There is 2 geulot. The first geulah is the geulah from Egypt, and the second geulah Be'ezat Hashem when Mashiach will come. That will be the second geulah. And I remember, I will never forget that one day I said to my father, Papa, do you see Eliyahu? Because he opened the door and he said, Baruch haba Eliyahu. Baruch haba, that means welcome Eliyahu. Do you see Eliyahu? And he looked at me and he told me, and did you see him? I said, no, Papa, I didn't see him. So he said, well, Be'ezat Hashem, one day you will grow, you will see him. Well, I grew, I got married, and then I carry on to say the Haggadah, Shefoch Hamatcha, and I never saw Eliyahu. But I remember what my father did. I opened the door, I said, Baruch haba Eliyahu. And I remember when I had my first boy, Raphael, when he started to grow, he was 4-year-old, and of course, everybody was excited. We prepared the glass for Eliyahu, it was on the table, and of course Eliyahu, and then we stand up and we go to the door, Shefoch Hamatcha, and I used to say, Baruch haba Eliyahu. And then Raphael, my son, said, Papa, did you see him? I said, who? Eliyahu. And you, Raphael, you saw him? He said, no, Papa. Well, Habib, when you grow, you will see him. Now, when he looked at me, he said, maybe, it's a baby, he don't see. He believed. And then the best story started a few years ago, when we were all the family, everybody, my grandchildren, everybody was with me for Pesach. So when we started Shefoch, Raphael was standing next to me, and his son Chaim, he was next to him. He was 3-year-old, and then all of us, Shefoch Hamatcha el Hagoyim, Baruch haba Eliyahu. Then I remember Chaim, he started to look at his father. Papa, did you see him? He's here. So Raphael look at me, then look at him. Yeah, so I told him, answer. Tell him what you saw. He look at me, he look at him. والحي بأس Hashem. Did you see him? No, Papa. No. No, well, you will grow, you will see him. And this is רבותיי אמונה. והגעת לבנך ביום ההוא. This is, my friend, how the way we have to educate our children. You know, emuna, faith, we don't buy it. We cannot have it. We don't get it from nowhere. It's a heritage. It's an education. That you must understand one thing. From where the emuna starts, there is a beginning of emuna. Don't think emuna it's just like, it starts from where? It starts, my friend, from the moment that the mother, when she laid the candles for Shabbat, and when she become pregnant, and of course when she keep Tarat Mishpacha, of course when she keep Nida, and she light the candle of Shabbat, and of course when she do the Challah, and of course when she start to be pregnant, my friend, all the brachot that this baby inside is listening, this baby is going to be, his conception is going to be a conception of Torah, of Emunah. My friend, when this baby is listening to his parents, and he's still inside his mother, and he listen to the brachot, he listen to the Birkat Hamazon, and he listen to all the brachot, all the Jewish histories. This baby, when he is born already with emunah, especially when he receives the neshama from HaKadosh Baruch Hu already. His conception as a Jew is to be something. So the potential is here. All what he need that to light him. Who light him is the parent. It's the parent who light the children. And that's why the first mitzvah that the Torah is talking to us to teach the children, first, it's the exit of Egypt. This is the first. Yetziat Mitzrayim. Yetziat Mitzrayim. Now, my friend, I have to tell you something. There is millions of histories. There's a lot of things. Why the Torah will not ask from us to tell our children about the Akedah? The Akedah Yitzhak. Why only Yetziat Mitzrayim? Why not the Akedah Yitzhak? The sacrifice that Abraham did to Yitzhak Avinu. Why the Torah will not mention this, what Abraham did? You should tell it to your children. What Abraham did. And you know what it is, a sacrifice? A sacrifice, to be a Jew, you have to sacrifice all your life for Hashem. So my question is, why Hashem, he chose only Yetziat Mitzrayim? Why Yetziat Mitzrayim? Why not something else? Why not teach your children to keep Shabbat, teach your children this, or teach your children to put tefillin? No. V'igata libincha. The Torah mentioned that this mitzvah of Yetziat Mitzrayim, the exit of Egypt, or what happened to us in Egypt, it's a big mitzvah to tell to your children. And even the first night of Pesach, we call the first night the Seder. What that means, Seder? Seder, that means an order. That means the order of a Jew. If you want to be a Jew, the order of a Jew is to start knowing about Pesach. So the question is, why only Pesach? Why not something else? My friend, don't forget, the first mitzvah that Hashem gave us is the Rosh Chodesh. This is the first mitzvah that Hashem told us. The first mitzvah is Rosh Chodesh. So, why Hashem he will not tell us to Moshe, talk to the Bnei Israel that the first thing that they have to teach their children is to teach them to do Birkat HaLebana, Rosh Chodesh. No, Pesach. You know, my friend, why this mitzvah is so beautiful? I would like just to tell you something. I remember something that I will never forget. When I was a baby in Essaouira, I was 9-year-old, and I was running after one cat, a small cat. I was a young, I was a boy. I was running after one cat, and then the cat, he went up, and then I felt in a hole, and I was between mamash death and life. Mamash, I was bisakana gedola. I was in a big danger. And at that moment, it was 2 days, it was Shabbat HaGadol. It was 2 days before Pesach. At that moment, my father was studying Torah. He was learning. And then Baruch Hashem, a woman came to the synagogue. When I felt in a hole, and that hole was inside, it was the synagogue. This one, she saw me. I was between, I was just hanging with my hand. Mamash, big nest that I didn't fail. So Baruch Hashem, she called some people, and they took me from there. They saved my life. And my father, Alav Shalom, it was, when they came, people to tell him what happened to me, the first answer that he said, well, Baruch Hashem, this is the zechut of Pesach. That was his answer. Hashem, he didn't want to disturb my Pesach. That was his answer. Pesach. What it is Pesach? Rabotai, I have to tell you this. Hashem, he knows. Who is like Hashem who knows everything? Hashem, he knows that one day we'll be in exile. Hashem, he knows that we were in Egypt 210 years. But it will come a time that we'll be in exile for few thousand years. Few thousand years. And Hashem, he knows the only thing that He can give us inspiration and hope for the Be'ezat Hashem, the Geula, is if we talk about Egypt. And that's what the Prophet said. The same miracles that Hashem, He did in Egypt, Hashem, He will do miracles, more miracles like those that they were in Egypt before Mashiach will come. And that way, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is for Hashem, it's very important for Him that we will have emunah, faith in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, emunah in the Geula. And that's why every day we talk about Egypt. In the morning you wake up, you say Shema Israel, you talk about Egypt. You eat, you do Birkat Hamazon, you talk about Egypt. In the night, you talk about Egypt. You wake up in the morning, in the summer, when you have to do Kriyat Shema before the Tefillah, we talk about Egypt. Nearly all day long, we talk only about Egypt. Why only about Egypt? Why not something else? The answer is because when you talk about Egypt, you talk about the Emunah, about what happened in Egypt. Ani Hashem, Asher Tzidkecha Me'eretz Mitzrayim. Because every time when you end the Kriyat Shema, you mention, it's me Hashem who put you out from Egypt, Ani Hashem. And automatically you think about what? Wow, we are talking about our parents that they were in Egypt and that He liberated them. What about today? We're still in exile. So automatically we think about Hashem. Please Hashem, the same way that you liberated the Jews from Egypt, so do it again. Rabotai, this is the emunah. Today, I was talking to somebody asked me last week, because last week I gave a lecture about Mashiach. And there was somebody who asked me this, Rabbi David, do you believe in Mashiach? And today I've been talking for 1 hour about Mashiach. You asked me now if I believe in Mashiach. He said, well, Rabbi David, it's hard to believe. What Mashiach can do? I asked him one question. Do you believe that the Jews, they were in Egypt? He said, yes, of course. What proof do you have? Well, we do Pesach, we do this, and every day we talk about Egypt. I said, okay, what happened what happened in Egypt? Well, our parents, they were slaves, and they were in exile. Okay? Sir, what are you now? What are you now? Where are you now? He said, well, I am in Miami. I know you are in Miami. I know you are in Miami. But what are you now? What are you now? Are you in exile or not? He said, no. He said, no. Yeah. So tell me, when you do Pesach, you know what we say in Pesach? The Gaon Vilna, he mentioned something extraordinary. The Gaon Vilna, he said, Hayav Adam le'ot et atzmo kilo hu yatz. It's a mitzvah d'oraita to feel like you were in exile in Egypt and Hashem delivered you. I never was in Egypt. I don't know what it is, Egypt. Except I saw some pictures, some photo about Egypt. I've never been to Egypt. How can you ask me that I have to feel like I was in Egypt and a slave at Paro? It's hard for me to feel that. I don't know what it is to be a slave. The answer is, if Behemet, you read the story, if Behemet you have emunah, if your parents educate you about what it is to have emunah on Hashem, about our holidays, about our Hagim, about Shabbat, about mitzvot, I promise you, when Pesach comes, you will feel what it is, Pesach, what it is. I feel like I was in Egypt, slave in Egypt, and Hashem delivered me. It's something, my friend, that you cannot get it from nowhere. You have to create it yourself. I repeat, it's something that your body has to create. That's it. This is something. Today there is a lot of things that the body creates, globule rouge, Hashem Yishmor. The body, a lot of times, can create bad things, and God forbid, it could be dangerous for the body, but there is also another things, that the body can create good things. But how? It's up to you. Rabotai, this is the reason why HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it was very important for him that he said, V'gata libincha, that's a father, the parents, they have this obligation to tell the story, not only to tell the story, but the children should see how the father feels the story. So when he feel it, like what I told you before. I remember my father, Alav Shalom, when he used to open the door, he used to smile at nothing. He just used to look at the door. Baruch haba Eliyahu, come in, I prepare for you the kos Eliyahu, Baruch haba. And he was laughing, he was smiling, and we were looking. It's like he was looking at something, but there was nothing. So I have to ask him, Papa, did you see him? Huh? And you saw him? No, Papa. Well, Be'ez Hashem, you will grow, you will see him. He used to talk to us in a way that when Be'ez Hashem we will grow, we will see him. Yeah. You have a Brit Milah. And this Brit Milah, you have Kisi Eliyahu. Do you have a Kisi Eliyahu here? Oh, I don't see them. Voilà. There is here a Kisi Eliyahu. And there is a Brit Milah. Do we see Eliyahu Navi? Do we see him? But we know there is Eliyahu. For the Brit Milah of my grandson, the son of Rabbi Moshe, my son, 2 months ago, Behemet is something, it's true. When I was the Sandak, I was looking at the door. I said, Be'ezat Hashem, maybe I will have the zechut to see Eliyahu Navi. And they showed me some pictures, people showed me some pictures, I was looking. And I had a big emunah, that's it. Hashem, I'm 65 years old, I want to see Eliyahu Navi. And I was looking at the door. And now the baby was on me, and the door opened, somebody came, and they made a big smile. So some people just told me, why you smile? I said, well, I saw Eliyahu. So some people told me, you saw Eliyahu? I said, yes. Behemet? No, Behemet, no. But Rabbi Pinchas HaKohen, the one, we have a rabbi who studied Torah in my kollel. His name is Rabbi Pinchas HaKohen. And you know Eliyahu Pinchas. Pinchas, it's Eliyahu. So for me, it was symbolic. I saw Pinchas, Rabbi Pinchas, for me it was Eliyahu. This is Emunah. I didn't see Eliyahu, but I saw somebody whose name is Pinchas. It's the same. It's the same. This is my Emunah. I don't need to see Eliyahu Nabi. I know he is there, Eliyahu Nabi. So I don't see him. I don't have the zechut to see him. But he is here. But we have Emunah that he is here. And we have to teach our children, Ken, he is here. This is very important. Because the children, excuse me to listen to this, the children, they are the photocopy of the parents. I remember in Montreal, I was praying, it was Erev Shabbat, I was praying by Bob of Hasidim, I think, or Square Hasidim, I don't know. It was a Hasidic shul. And I was sitting, and I saw a baby boy, 9-year-old. He was moving, he was praying like an old man, like a big man. But every time he used to look up, I was sitting, and he saw him that he was looking up. So I said to myself, what is he looking at? So he saw he was looking at his father. He wanted to imitate his father. When his father was moving his head, he moved his head. When his father sit, he sit. When he was screaming, the children are the photocopy of the parents. So how much, excuse me to tell you this, today the children are very clever. Don't think maybe when we were babies, we will not reach the chokhmah of the children of today. I have my 2 old telephones. Today they are very, today they are antique. I think one day I'm one of the last people who has these old telephones, and I don't have this kind of new telephones. But you do not understand that I know, you know very well, more than me, the danger that there is on those telephones for the children. I would like just to tell you one thing. The danger is very big. On one hand, we want our children to be well educated, we want them to be good Jews, and we want them to do all what we receive from our parents. But Baruch Hashem, we had the privilege to have a real emunah. We had the real teacher. We had parents that they really give us a real emunah. Today, I don't think the transmission of today is not the same like it was before. Because today, we need the new parent, they need a conviction. You know, to give to a child, you have to be convicted. You have to feel what you tell. Because the child, he feel. If you really, as we said, the varim shiutzim min halev nichnasim lalev, word that they come out from a heart, that you feel them, that behemet, you believe on them, so they automatically they are accepted by the child. But if you don't feel what you, it's like I remember, I had some guests on Pesach. I will never forget that. Some guests that they came from far away. And they were sitting at the table, and then my family, my children were asking questions about Pesach. And I saw a 12-year-old, he asked his father, Papa, c'est vrai? Is it true? I was talking about Yetziat Mitzrayim, and he said to his father, Papa, is it true? Is it true? C'est vrai? You know what the father he answered him? He said, probably. Peut-être. Voilà, peut-être. So, that word peut-être, that means what? Maybe. So this is the way to transmit to a baby. Peut-être, maybe. So, I called the baby. I told him, I want you to sit next to me now. Don't sit next to peut-être, to the one All the time we tell you, maybe now sit here. And Baruch Hashem, and I started to teach him. And then he was so excited. And I asked the father, did you do Pesach in your house? He said, yes. So I asked him one question. How did you did Pesach in your house? He said, well, we did Pesach in my house. My father used to say, that's it. And did you understand what he said, your father? He said, no. After 15 minutes, we eat. This is Pesach. This is not Pesach. There was a woman. I would take all of you to listen to this story. It's something that broke my heart a few years ago. It was a woman who came to see me. She put a picture on the table. And she told me, Rabbi David, I have a big problem. I have nobody to take care of me. No family. Nobody. They all left me. And we were happy. And look at this picture. This picture can prove you how much we were happy. And my husband passed away. And when he passed away, he left me with children, the dog, and the children. I did everything for them. I worked hard for them. And now they're married with non-Jewish girls, or non-Jewish boys, no Shabbat, no Ma'adim, nothing. And I'm lonely, and I don't know what to do. And I have only one boy left. His name is Shimon. I named him under the name of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Now this boy, unfortunately, he wants to go to live in Japan with the Japanese, and that's it. Finished. He was crying. I told her, Madam, this picture, it was on Pesach, yes? She said, yes. How do you know? How do I know? Because I see the table, I see the matzah, and there is the wine, and there is the Pesach, the plateau of Pesach. Yes. So you see, Rabbi David, we did Pesach. We did. So why Hashem punished me? I told her, Madam, look at the picture. The answer of your question is the picture. She looked at the picture and she told me, what the problem? Rabbi David, we were united. Look, Pesach. But look well the picture. Yes, Madam. You want to look only what you want to look. But you don't want to look what you don't want to look. You know, the Ramchal, Alav Shalom, Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzzatto said, there is two kinds of blind. There is a blind, one that he was born blind, and there is another kind of blind that is not blind, but he don't want to see. He don't want to see. So he's like a blind. I said, Madam, I give you another chance. Look at the picture. And she started to look at the picture, and she said, Rabbi David, I don't see what you see. Tell me, what's wrong? I said, look what they're doing. They're sitting on the table, but they are watching a football. Look at the television. And this picture, you see that the matzah, they're giving their back to Pesach. They are watching a football game. This is Pesach. This is education. So, Pesach is emunah. V'gata libincha. This is the first time that the Torah mentioned the father. That the father, it has to be the example for the baby, for the child. V'gata libincha. Bayom ha'u lemor. What that means? V'gata libincha. Remember, I don't know if it was my father or somebody who explained, he said, what that means? V'gata libincha bayom ha'u lemor. Of course, this pasuk talk about Pesach. But Rabotai, Pesach, it's every day. Pesach, it's not only once in a year. Pesach, it's every day. Because we talk about Pesach every day, we talk about Yetziat Mitzrayim every day. So Pesach, it's every day. So V'higata libilcha bayom ha'u lemor. That means every day you have to talk to your children. You have to give them emunah. You have to. It's like Rabotai. It's something that you should not stop talking about that. Rabotai, I would like just to tell you this. Why we talk about Pesach every day? Why? Because Rabotai, we're still in exile. And Hashem, He wants us. He wants to give us hope. Be'ezat Hashem. We need one thing, Rabotai. Listen to this. What was the secret that Hashem, He sent Moshe Rabbeinu, the Mashiach of that time, to deliver the Jews? You know when? ויצעקו אל השם ותעל שבעתם אל האלוקים. When the Jews, they started to suffer and they started to cry, to scream, to pray to Hashem. So Hashem, He said, that's it, basta. Now I will send the Mashiach. But unfortunately today, we feel so good. It's like we don't need Him. We're in Miami, we're in Paris, we're in New York, we're everywhere. Do we need Mashiach? We live in a good comfort. So, no one pray. There was a rabbi who gave a big speech about Mashiach. And then, once he finished, was a Chassid who came to him. Rebbe, you're fantastic. You talk so well about Mashiach. Really, I believe in Mashiach. I know, Be'ezat Hashem, we will see Mashiach. So the Rebbe told him, so you believe? He said, yes. Can I ask you a favor? He asked him, yes, Rebbe, what favor? Can you lend me $10,000 when Mashiach comes, I will give you back? What, Rebbe? Can you lend me $10,000 and Be'ezat Hashem? Because you believe in Mashiach and you think He's coming soon, so when He will come, I will give you back. I will give you back the money. Well, Rebbe, well, Emunah has a price. What price? Give the $10,000. This is the Emunah, a real Emunah, my friend. What's his name? The Rosh Yeshiva of Punevich, Rab Kanaman Alav Shalom, he was a big tzaddik. And you know when he built the Yeshiva of Punevich, he put 3 chairs. He put, of course, 2 spare chairs. And they asked him, why two? Because there is some chairs for the Rosh Yeshiva, for the rabbis, but why those? Because there was no reason why those 2 chairs. He said, well, Be'ezat Hashem, when Mashiach will come, so at least I'm sure that he will come to Punevich Yeshiva and he will visit. So he has, this is the chair for Mashiach and this one for Eliyahu Navi. This is it's a creation of Emunah. The Chafetz Chaim Alav Shalom, always he has a suitcase. You know what he has in the suitcase? Some white clothes. He said, if Mashiach will come and he build Beit HaMikdash, I don't need to go to the tailor to make clothes for the Beit HaMikdash. I already have clothes already. That, Rabotai, a lot of tzaddikim, each tzaddik in his own emunah. And I would like just to finish with one thing. And this is very important for you to know. You know, today, we don't know. No one of us know when Be'ezat Hashem, the real Geulah will come. We don't know. It could be now, it could be tomorrow morning, it could be, of course, not Erev Shabbat, but it could be any moment. Say me no. You know, the Gaon of Vilna, Alav Shalom, he said something incredible. He said that 400 years ago. He said that the war before Mashiach will come, it will last only 12 minutes. 12 minutes. Anyone who listened those words from the Gaon Mivina, he thought the Gaon Mivina is not normal. 12 minutes. At that time, there was no weapon. The only weapon they were, it was, light weapon. Sometimes wars could last 100 years, 30 years, 20 years. But today, we have to be realist. Today, with all those weapons that there is today, Hash Shalom, those bomb atomic, all this, the Gaon was right. The Gaon was right. Only with this, those words that I just told you now, that give me more emunah on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I will never forget my father, Alav Shalom. I never forget my father. When my father, Alav Shalom, used to talk about Mashiach, I remember we used to feel that it's going to come in a minute. The way we was talking about him. Unfortunately, he did not see him. He passed away. But we have this heritage. What heritage? Heritage that soon is going to come. Be'ezat Hashem. This is emunah. This is, if the father will not teach his son this kind of emunah, kashrut, everything, so it will be a problem. Of course, my friend, today we need more emunah than before. We need more, but that we need to work. And here at Son, Be'ezat Hashem, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give you, to all of you, bracha ve'atzlacha, and bri'ut, Be'ezat Hashem, parnasa tova ken ratzon, and Be'ezat Hashem, here at Son, that we'll have a zechut to see Mashiach. Don't forget one thing. When you talk to children, everyone, excuse me to tell you this, it's not my business, but one thing I have to tell you. Your children should be your photocopy, but not a false photocopy. You first have to be a photocopy from the Torah. What the Torah say, you have to do it. And if you do exactly what the Torah said, so by Hashem, you can the transmission of this Torah to your child, it will be accepted. Why it will be accepted? Because it will be accepted. Because Hashem is helping. Like somebody told me last night, he came to see me this week, he told me, Rabbi David, help me. I need to have more emunah on Hashem. I put tefillin, I pray, I respect Shabbat, but I need emunah, I don't know what to do. I looked at him. I told him, you think in 1 minute I want to tell you how to have emunah. It's impossible. One thing I want to tell you. Start kissing the mezuzah. Look at the mezuzah. Look at the name of Hashem. So he said, but I do it all the time. He said, yes, you do it. You just kiss and go. Now, give a little bit of your time to the mezuzah. Look at it. And last night, I promise you, I'm talking to you here in the synagogue. When he came last night with his wife, after the shiur, I told him, no, how are you? He said, Rabbi David, Baruch Hashem, I feel better. I feel that I am more warm when I pray. I said, why? How? He said, because you give me a good advice. I kissed the mezuzah. I looked at the name of Hashem. And I started to read about what it is mezuzah, what the meaning of mezuzah. It's fantastic. I said, good. Unfortunately, his father, he never had a mezuzah in the house. He never kissed a mezuzah. So, unfortunately, his son, even that he did teshuvah, but he needed something from his parents. Excuse me. We all need a touch from the parent. Because the parent who drop the first emunah, and then it's after it's coming. But it's the parent. And if the parent don't put that first drop of emunah on the child, it's going to be hard for the child to have a connection with Hashem. Maybe he will do teshuvah. Maybe there is. You need a lot of miracles that this boy, Be'ez Hashem, this man, will reach a level even without his parents. A big work. I wish you ברכה והצלחה, בריאות, בזכות אבותיי הקדושים, רבי חיים פידות הגבעתכם, ימלא הקדוש ברוך הוא את כל משרות זבחיהם לטובה, אמן כן יהי רצון.